But with that, we also, along with our program of helping manage through our resource partners and our lenders these loans, we also helped with about $24 billion of PPP loans and economic injury disaster loans of $11 billion, and that is ongoing, as you know. Economic injury disaster loan is still a program for increases and reconsiderations. We're also very proud of the fact that we have, really opened up to our diverse community. Minority-owned, we've been able to, supply loans to those businesses, women-owned, veteran-owned, and there's startups, obviously, because those are the most, sometimes can be very difficult to find funding for those types of those startup businesses. We have been able to do that, and we're going to continue to do that. The basics of SBA loan is the fact that this is not SBA lending the money, but the lenders doing that. And we provide them a guarantee. If they follow the requirements of the standard operating procedures that we have, then they can achieve on a guarantee on that loan of up to 90%. What's this do? It reduces the lender's risk, allows them to open up and approve more of those loans, and it also allows them to sell more of those loans on the open market, freeing up some of their capital so they can do more loans. So it's a big benefit to you, and it's also key, although we must mention, is that if you qualify for a conventional loan, you would not be able to apply for an SBA loan. So, if you have a strong balance sheet, you've done excellent in your business in terms of profitability and cash flow, then you're going to end up with a conventional loan, not an SBA loan. So SBA loan will be more for those that are challenged credit-wise, possibly collateral and the like. And again, our whole goal is to, have you be another success story for us. We're going to sit down, as I mentioned, we start many times with you calling us, the business calling us directly, but, we can do so much, and then we're going to hand off to our resource partners and to our lenders, who will sit down and talk to you about our programs, what's available in funding programs. And they can not only talk to you about what SBA has, but maybe there's grants out there through the state, through the city, other grants that may be out there, or other programs that may be out there. So our people are well versed in a broad spectrum of SBA opportunity, SBA funding, and non-SBA sources as well. What it means to be small business, you can go through the electronic code of regulations. In fact, you can go on our website, you can just go on Google and type SBA size standards, and you'll get to the electronic code of federal regulations. If you put in your next code, it'll basically tell you whether you're small by virtue of the size standard in revenue or in size standard employees. But probably the easiest way to do it is just know, and your lender knows this, so you can talk to your lender or you can talk to one of our resource partners. But if you have less than $5 million in net income over the past 2 years, less than $15 million in tangible net worth, then you are a small business. And eligible businesses, for the most part, you're going to see the ineligible on the side. You would expect those that are speculative in nature, that we're not going to lend to those with prior loss to the government. And on the other hand, the key eligibility factors that you're organized for-profit business located in the United States, and you be an operating business. So I'm going through these slides pretty quickly. I understand that. The idea is that, just to introduce you to this, so we have ample time to talk through to the various lenders that are here, and then also have your questions answered. So I'm going to try to work through these pretty quickly. And well as citizenship, U.S. citizens and non-citizens can apply per policy, can receive a loan. You have to be a lawful permanent resident if you're a non-U.S. citizen. In the case of character, we're also going to look at those. If you're on probation, if you have a felony on your record, we're going to have to go back and do a check on you through an investigation. That'll come through the application process. But if there's a misdemeanor you've had within the 6 months prior to your application, you can be approved and go through that process. So lenders are best at this, to screen this through our application process. The loans for the SBA can help you in a multitude of ways, not only from purchasing your business, maybe it's working capital line, you need some, maybe in fact you're going to purchase some land or real estate to expand your business. By all means, we can do it all. These programs can do it all. That's the 504 loan. Segregated. These are the loan programs, chiefly the 504 loan program, which is that larger commercial real estate. We'll talk more about it. Matt will get you into that mindset. You may have, new manufacturing operation. You're buying a building, putting in some new equipment. These are projects that can run $5 million and many times more than that. A 7A loan is going to be the more multi-purpose loan. Buy a piece of equipment, do a leasehold improvement, need a working capital line, and that's up to $5 million as well. On the microloan side, this is the smallest loan. It's about less than $50,000 or less. Many times that's just what that business needs. It doesn't need the major loan. And other loans under 7A would be Community Advantage and some of these others, which I won't get into details on, but mention Community Advantage as you walk through the credit spectrum. So if you have an application for a 7A loan and you can't meet that criteria, perhaps you can meet it for a Community Advantage loan. And then the most probably credit favoring is the microloan, where you can, again, the rates are going to go up as you for these loans, but they're hopefully allow you the opportunity to have one of these loans. The basics of 7A, and I have Harrison on with me as well, so Harrison can certainly make a comment on this, but these term loans can run from 5 to 25 years. They are simple interest loans. You can negotiate the interest, but we do set the maximums on these loans. They are variable for the most part, although there are lenders that do fixed as well. And the SBA maximum is going to be prime plus 2.75%. In this case, if you take prime at 3.25%, you're going to be at 6% on interest rate. Again, understanding that market, we're in a market where interest rates are rising. I believe someone needs to go on mute. I hear some background noise. Thank you. The maximum amount is $5 million on these loans. There is an express loan, maximum of $500,000. It will expedite the process. Mostly through our preferred lenders will be able to do that, those that have the express qualification. Again, these loans, and the good news this year, for loans up to $350,000, there's going to be no fee. Rather, versus some of the amounts, if there was a fee, it could be up to 2.75 or 2.5 or more. And again, these loans are multi-purpose. Harrison, do you have a comment on that? Okay, well, Harrison's going to discuss this on his briefing chart that he has, slide that he has coming up soon. So the Community Advantage loan I mentioned, this is for non-bank lenders. So they're going to make these loans, and the range is up to $250,000. The rates are going to be a little bit higher, the terms a little bit shorter, but they are an opportunity for you. So don't, again, your lender, those on the call right now, help in our program today, can guide you to the next step. They may not be able to offer that program themselves, but they know lenders that can, as well as you can reach out to our resource partners. The microloan, we have one microloan lender in our particular district, but there's others in LA and San Diego. So we invite you to explore this option. We'll give you more information as you need guidance, but up to $50,000, rates are going to be a little bit higher, terms up to 6 years. And there is counseling along with this to help you manage the loan to start with, and then how to make sure you're staying on track with regard to your cash flow to meet your requirements for the loan. Now, we get to 504. At this point, I'm going to ask Matt to join me. I'm going to introduce this first slide, and then Matt and I are going to talk to this. So the 504 is a loan used for finance of fixed assets, small enterprises, but great rates. You'll see those. These loans are managed through a certified development company such as Matt's, Southland Economic Development Corporation, and they'll work together with a third-party lender and with you to put these together to assess whether you're a candidate, and then to put them together. And that's what we mentioned here. So that I'm going to now turn basically to the kind of projects that we would have, and I'm going to let Matt go through this couple of next slides. Matt?
Okay, thank you, Ron. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us. So most often, these projects are used to, as Ron suggested, finance owner-occupied commercial real estate for your business. And so obviously that can take many forms. It could be manufacturing, industrial, it could be office buildings, medical buildings, but it can also be more nuanced types of real estate, hotels, motels, restaurants, bars, daycare facilities, gas stations on a limited basis. There's a gauntlet you got to run, car washes, self-storage facilities, and things of that nature. Just sort of sampling our portfolio, it's predominantly office industrial, the concrete tilt up, a lot of medical professionals, given that we're here in Southern California. But those are kind of the general uses. You can finance equipment, but it's oftentimes you're going to find that you might be able to get more favorable terms from the manufacturer of that equipment, as opposed to utilizing SBA. But we do several projects where we finance the real estate with SBA's assistance at a bank such as UBB, only to have the manufacturer finance the equipment portion of things. And the typical structure is what we refer to as a 50-40-10, where a conventional lender such as UBB, Wells, B of A, Chase, you name it, do 50% of the project financing. SBA takes a second position at 40%. So in this example that we're utilizing here, bank is in for $500,000. SBA, vis-a-vis a bond that's sold to investors, is in for $400,000. Borrower comes in with the requisite 10% equity injection. If it's special purpose or startup in nature, obviously there's a little more exposure for the bank and SBA by virtue of it being a startup, or single purpose. Single purpose only because there's a limited set of buyers for special purpose type of properties. And in light of that, the requirement is that the borrower come in with 15%. Now, if you happen to be a combination of single purpose and startup, the down payment requirement then goes up to 20%. We don't see very many of those, but it's available nonetheless.